Hello cinephiles. I'm excited to bring you a two-part series titled Unraveling the Game. In our first video, we'll analyze the psychological layers, intricate performances, and the masterful direction that make this film a standout in the thriller genre.
We'll explore the transformation of Nicholas Van Orton, played by Michael Douglas, and how the unpredictable nature of the game orchestrated by CRS pulls him into a vortex of suspense and self-discovery. Then, stay tuned for the second part where we discuss the film's weaknesses, as pointed out by critics, delve into fascinating and hidden background facts, and wrap up with our final thoughts. From casting choices and production challenges to the suspenseful evolution of the screenplay, we'll uncover what makes The Game a cinematic enigma. So, join me as we unravel the mysteries of The Game in this in-depth cinematic analysis. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful reviews. Let's get started.
Plot overview. Directed by David Fincher and featuring Michael Douglas, The Game was released in 1997. The film tells the story of a man who on his birthday is given an unusual gift. A participation in a game that disrupts his stable life, plunging him into a series of existential challenges that lead to a profound personal crisis. From the start, the film captures our attention with a narrative that hints at a layered descent into chaos. Early scenes depict the protagonist's childhood, marked by the traumatic loss of his father to suicide, symbolized by a boat and a watch passed down to him. Despite these relics, it's clear he has avoided truly understanding his father's life and death. Jungian psychological concepts. The film's opening scenes introduce us to a man embodying the Apollo archetype, brilliant in his career but emotionally stunted, perpetually living in the shadow of his father. Throughout the film, he constantly compares himself to his father, even contemplating ending his life in the same way when prompted by a note in his home. Birth is a powerful symbol of fundamental change, representing a blind and closed stage that leads us into a new world. Nicholas's 48th birthday, the same age at which his father died, marks the beginning of a transformative game orchestrated by his brother to shake up his monotonous life. The clown that enters his house and hands him a key signifies the neglected, playful side of Nicholas, marking the first step in his journey. Symbolism and self-discovery analysis. Nicholas despises surprises and has delayed his heroic journey so long that he faces it unexpectedly. The game, tailored to exploit his weaknesses and strengths, dismantles his stable life, forcing him to confront the suppressed emotions and insecurities he has ignored for years. As it is often said, if we don't start our journey, we will be dragged into it. We are inevitably destined to mature. The announcer who enters his house with a clown plays with his emotions and tells him, "If you don't pay attention to me, I'll get very angry." This is akin to all the emotions, weaknesses, and suppressed aspects that Nicholas has ignored for years, now set to collapse upon him like an avalanche through this game. Fear, uncontrolled rage for a gentleman who has always behaved in a composed manner, and several other feelings that cause the mask he has worn for years to crumble. The signs in this film are so subtly chosen that just as Nicholas boards the plane for a trip and gradually loses his confidence, we see the plane's wheels retracting. Although it loses its secure connection to the ground, it is ready to soar. The keys that Nicholas continuously receives and the seemingly unrelated situations where they prove useful gradually give him insight that everything is part of a game. He realizes he must keep these clues because they might save his life in a critical situation. Another intriguing sign embedded in the story is the hotel that targets his reputation. In that hotel, a cocaine trail is visible on a mirrored tray, and as he destroys it while his reflection is visible in the mirror, he breaks the mirror and cuts his hand with the shards of his own image. How more beautifully can a character's breakdown be depicted? In the middle of this journey, when Nicholas escapes with his brother Conrad and the car tire gets flat, Conrad, while searching for a spare key, finds dozens of keys that cannot solve their problem. Anyone on the path of self-discovery might encounter a multitude of keys that place them in a state of complete uncertainty. It is in this situation that the tensions between the two brothers are revealed. Conrad is a creditor who tried to take their father's place, something he did not want, while Nicholas's Apollonian aspects in succeeding their father become more apparent. Even if Nicholas is unaware of all these similarities, irregularities, when he tries to uncover the truth by approaching Christine, a girl playing a crucial role in this game, he confronts the artificiality of the entire situation. Nicholas faces the artificiality of the entire environment and tries to disrupt the rules of the game with rage. This leads to him being placed in a situation where he feels he has lost everything he had: respect, money, trust in others, his secrets, and even his watch, the last memento from his father that he carried with him every day. At this point, it seems that Nicholas, who has been through a lot on this journey and is no longer the same person, begins to build a new self. Someone who has left Apollo behind and whose heroic journey has taken a new direction. Character development. Nicholas encounters his ex-wife and admits his mistakes, handles a gun with calm precision, and dismisses a robber from his path. He no longer cares about money but seeks the truth behind the game's veil. Ultimately, he reaches a point where he believes he has killed his protector and finds himself on the verge of his father's fate. He jumps off the CRS building, only to be safely caught by the game's designers, symbolizing his rebirth. The man who returns to the ground is no longer bound by his past or his father's shadow. He was a man who had completed his heroic journey and, as his brother said, had gone through many troubles for a rebirth. He was no longer an Apollo who avoided relationships with women or sought to control his brother through complete support. Instead, he offered to share the costs with him. This game is a gateway to the heroic journey that everyone must undertake, and if one doesn't willingly enter it, they will certainly be invited in some way. The path involves a descent that separates us from all our absolute certainties in the second half of our lives. It's worth mentioning the captivating music, White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, which plays twice in the film and references the story of Alice in Wonderland. It complements all the meaning created in this story. Overall, the film The Game, produced by Fincher, is a great example of creating suspense. This suspense challenges the viewer, and this style of narrative is characteristic of David Fincher. The film, with Michael Douglas's outstanding performance, portrays the character's evolution throughout the narrative. As Conrad, the younger brother, played by Sean Penn says, we start with an unlikable Nicholas who is becoming more despicable by the day. Almost the entire film centers around the main character, and thanks to Michael Douglas's excellent acting, all the events within the story become believable.
Stay tuned, because in the next part of our review next week, we'll discuss the weaknesses of The Game, delve into some intriguing and hidden facts about the movie, and wrap up with our final thoughts. See you soon.